Kraken is an all too rare, strong leadership figure, as well as the IGL stuff, which is really a great addition to any team. I think FaZe Clan may lament the lack of Karrigan in some respects. You know, this map is the pick of FaZe Clan, but they're currently 29% on Mirage in their recent matches. But hey, it's one way to force it into your map pool, right? If you want to get better at it, you've got to pick it.
Yeah, not exactly seeing the improvements just yet, right? But it's early days. We're hoping that turns around a little bit. Thus far, mousesports have been looking good, winning the pistol, on track to win the anti-eco, and just get these couple of freebies in past the keeper.
20 seconds, TikTok. That bomb's still in middle for FaZe, but it's coming in through Con. Frozen's going to be really the guy to stop that, or BMAS, who has a crossfire under balcony. Will Cole be able to clear him in time? Olof needs to go quick, 10 seconds, and they both fall to Karrigan and Frozen. Not a problem for Mouse, who have that eco under lock, or anti-eco under lock and key. And we wait for one more, as FaZe have almost nothing in this round. mousesports probably going to go 3-0 up before things get all too interesting.
Yeah, we'll see the real meat and potatoes soon enough. A-core on the AUG for now. Some pros say that the AUG is better than the M4A4 in its current iteration. I heard you guys talking about the Galil as well as like a T-side M4 earlier on, which it does have better armor penetration than the M4A4, which is pretty interesting because I feel like life is hard for CT sides at the moment versus how it used to be. I think things have become more difficult for CT teams. I do wonder if we'll see any updates to the organ, the Krieg in the next 6 months.
Yeah, I think it's scary being on a CT side at the minute, because like you can be like, you know, you could have had a great first half and then you get to like, say like 13-8 up, and that's still a very vulnerable position to be in on the CT side, right? Because it's so easy to get stuck in that like realm of never having money, and then like you'll get one buy, but then if you lose that, oh well, it's back to pistol armor. And I think that's one of the reasons why people say, oh, it feels like games are longer now, right? Because it does feel like a lot more a battle of balancing the money on the CT side, whereas the Ts feel like they have a lot of freedom, you know, like in terms of force buys, they can bring more to the table, in terms of getting the rifles out, well, their rifles better, and it's also cheaper. So it is a bit weird right now, it feels like. I always get very, very scared whenever you see a team on the CT side with a lead, because it doesn't feel like that's something that can keep up as well as maybe it used to be able to.
Yeah, I think there's less breathing room as well with the current economy. There's just more and more money, almost a comeback mechanic at this point. So we saw some damage done by FaZe Clan in this round. Very awkward in the window with the AUG, but now the AWP is out for A-Core, taking the place of Chris J, who has some quite outstanding highlights on the CT side of Mirage especially. Very curious. I think last time I saw A-Core, performance was somewhat underwhelming, but maybe that can change now. It's a fast play from Roxon Palace, which is punished by Cold Zero. It's a nice early start for FaZe Clan, looking for their first round.
Yeah, if you look at A-Core's numbers, at least his ratings against top 30 teams, they're actually really, really good, mostly in the green, back on Mad Lions. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of really bright signs for this player. And no surprise when mousesports have him in their wing, but what will he be able to get up to? Right now it's FaZe with the man up. They have the mid control. Looking to group on the short side as well, go for this B split. Right now, A-Core is in the right position to do some damage at the back of the site. Karrigan up in the ladder room. Will they be able to get right past him for free? He's giving them a lot of room, but Rain takes his head off, chasing him down. A-Core now dropping a smoke to fight onto the short side, but he's actually cut his own line of sight off, and they're past him. They're into the site. A missed shot for A-Core. Frozen finds one, but A-Core's flashed out and Frozen's gone. It's all on this lone Dane. A quick shot, but he's going to get traded, and the round falls by the wayside. FaZe find their first, and yeah, mousesports just getting overwhelmed at B with very little picks to their name. And now that CT economy that we're just talking about already coming in, and not too clutch for mousesports. They'll be able to buy up one more, but even then there's going to be weaknesses on this buy, and next they'll be fully broke.
Yeah, they have died a lot in these previous rounds. Oh, so that smoke from Olofmeister is very specific. Basically, as well. I'm just going to talk about the smoke while this round plays out. Nice reaction from Acor. So there are different ways to smoke mid-window, but the specific one, the lineup you saw from Olof goes straight in the middle of the window. So if you molly it, it still is a perfect smoke because it lands in the middle. Whereas most other smokes from around the bin, etc., they land in the right side of the window, then bounce to the left, which is why it creates a gap when you use the Molotov. So that's definitely one to learn in the demo. Only two players remaining now for FaZe Clan.
Didn't the bomb get dropped?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. You've thrown all this nice smoke work, and then the bomb goes up into window alone, and Kirby now has given that over to Mouse. Brokey in a rough spot, but he's often good in these clutches. A 1v3, never going to be easy, and they're already on that bomb, and that was always going to be the problem for him there, right? No matter how much room he creates, they don't necessarily have to worry about giving in those fights. They can just play for him to get the package. So mousesports get that round on the board. A bit of a weird one for FaZe to send Kirby up into the window all alone with that bomb on his back. If there was one place I think he wouldn't want to drop the bomb, it's probably there.
Well, just pistols and grenades now for FaZe Clan. They'll need to do some damage and keep the buy less than pristine for mousesports in the rounds to come. Not too shabby, that damage. I wonder if Acor is scared of potential HEs behind that smoke in the short position as he falls back to a more passive angle, not wanting to give stuff up. He got caught by a boost from Olofmeister under the window in rounds prior. So it seems they'll play this one a little safer. Nobody deep short either. You can see FaZe Clan looking for these curious picks, but they're not going to come anytime soon from mousesports.
Yeah, just giving mid away, saying if you want it, take it, but you won't get to the sites. Acor watching the short cross. FaZe don't take it. They group back at A. Now, FaZe have saved 3 smokes and a flashbang for this exact play, so it's actually pretty perfect that no one commits and dies in the middle, and Acor gives them that room. But I say that Acor's swapping out in CT right now, putting that up in the perfect spot to deal with this A take. Will there be a CT smoke down? You'd like to think with 3 smokes coming in, where else would that third one go? Robs, he sees them getting out as well. SMG in the perfect spot, and he's already dealt with Rain. The molly cuts FaZe off as he gets flashed back in for a little bit more, making money with Robs, and he's got the tutorial right on our plate 4. Look at the ace, and he's got it. Robs making it look easy, and mousesports have 5.
A man like Roths, dude, that is, yeah, no, he's he's pretty good, isn't he? And this is why I really love like the kind of team compilation that you've got here inside of mousesports. I think it's such a good balance. You know, you've got Carrigan as this very tenured, experienced leader who's been used to developing talent. And I even like the story. I mean, I really like the storyline of, you know, BMAS filling in for FaZe for a bit, joining Mouse. And you know, while he was in FaZe, his numbers weren't very good. But now that he's been in mousesports, they've looked far better. And I love that idea, you know, of like the old back and forth between the old FaZe clan and mousesports, and how they've kind of nurtured this talent that FaZe admittedly weren't using long term, but they weren't able to get much out of. This round, we do have a 5-on-4. That's thanks to Kirby down here in the lower tunnels. So early on, mousesports given a pick over. And now having to go on the defense. Having to give FaZe clan mid control, give up that area of the map, play the respect game, as they now wait for this hit to come their way.
Oh, just looking for a push around that smoke, just in case. And here comes Bemis creeping. Who's the angle better for? Cold Zero's got a right side peek and a headshot. That'll create some space and draw some attention towards this A bomb site. Got Frozen now, trying to hold things down, but also needs to stay alive for the rotation should it be the A bomb site. And perhaps it will be. There's Rain popping in from triple, which leaves only 2 now for mousesports. This becomes yet another expensive round, but only the potentially second round for FaZe Clan. Acor now on a 1 versus 5, misses his first shot, misses the flick as well. I don't think he'll be alive for much longer. That's not an easy hop up on that tank, actually. But he gets it first time. To no avail, however. They lose everything. No kills in that round for mousesports.
Yeah, that's something Acor's really good at. His movement is definitely one of the best out there. I've seen him in some of the Blast KZ maps where he's just, you know, styling on all the other pros. So Not a hard jump for him, perhaps, but right now, FaZe, they jump up with the second round. Another AWP out in Akor's hands, at least. Gabby dropping the con molly. The AWP on FaZe is looking for a ramp pick, but molly and smoke in front of it. There's no entrance for Brokey. Still defaulting our FaZe. Mauser put that up inside of the palace to look for a pickup. It might find Cold, who is playing extremely passive, but you'd imagine he'll move in eventually. The question is Akor that patient? Will he hold on to what seems like right now a worthless position for so much longer? If he does, it's the right call, because FaZe is setting up for what looks like to be an A split with that mid control. They've got players under the window, ready to boost if needed. Rops is holding on from the cinder blocks. And Cold is not budging. Great patience for him, but I think it will finally pay off for Akor, who is also unwavered by seeing nothing. That's a good kill for Rops, but traded. And let's see if Akor is pulled back. He is exactly, and that gives Cold the room to move. Now Palace belongs to FaZe. That is going to be a timing that mousesports are not ready for. They've smoked Palace, sure, but they're not going to be ready for Cold pushing in as soon as they've fallen out. Can Cold find a crucial entry into A that could set up this split?
Bomb now being collected by Olaf Meister, and it makes its way towards the A bomb site. See if mousesports make a play as time starts to run out for FaZe Clan. 25 seconds on the clock. Will they send Karrigan into apps, for example, and rotate Frozen over? There'll be a molly there just in case. Now Kiabi's creeping in jungle. Just can't quite find that entry. 15 seconds on the clock, and we've got Akor and Bemis in CT. 10 seconds now for this bomb to get planted. Flashbang may go behind these CT plays, actually, but Akor's caught out. Bemis playing for the bomb plant. There it is, and there's the round as well. No need to do anything more, mousesports. They've stolen it. FaZe Clan left little margin for error. There was error, and there's a round for mousesports.
That's such a good peel back for Mouse, right? You can you see the smile on Karrigan. As soon as they fall out of the palace, they double set up in CT. Not only did Kiabi kill the first player there, never expecting the second, but mousesports is just perfectly poised, giving up the site, wasting so much time for FaZe to clear all those awkward angles like Con, mollying under Balk. They were never ready for the second man, who dropped the bomb and won the round. A shot for Akor, missed window smoke, and that's going to cost them as mousesports take a pick.
Yeah, and this mid-fight now slowed down a great deal, right? You do have players pushing close to these missed smokes, and that kill getting given over has really enticed FaZe to... All right, Robs. All right, guy. There you go. That's what he gets. Brokey holding him from the palace is there to lock that one in. Look at what's gone on here in the way through the apartments. It's Karrigan getting aggressive. And that's going to sound the kind of alarm bells now for FaZe to commit to this A play. At this point, Mouse know that it can't be B. They've got all this information. They've got a lot of control. However, one of those players is kind of out of action all the way over in top mid. So this is where FaZe are looking to get into this A site. They actually fall on back, moving out of there. That's because his bomb dropped all the way down in connector. They've got to try and get it back. So they've got to find this fight onto Karrigan in top mid. And this is a nice spot for him. Cold taking a long way round, all the way around the world. Will Karrigan be ready for that? Though.
34 seconds on the clock, and Brokey's creeping shotgun mode with the LWP, as is Frozen, more or less. 29 seconds for Cold, and that bomb is just next to connector. Karrigan had a good angle, though, on the side of those boxes, but will he peak in time? 20 seconds, and surely that objective has to be found. A very quick scope from Frozen, and Karrigan peeks out at the right time. Very fast forward play from Karrigan in the B apartment to get a strong position. And it's a 5-round lead for mousesports. You may have seen on the X-ray, when Cold Zero was coming out ramp, he was crouching. If anybody's playing default or something, and those bricks are in the way, if he's crouching, they won't see him until he chooses to stand. I think he may have just seen, I think it was Bemis, as he was making his way towards Shadow. But that's something to be aware of, something to do at home as well.
Bomb costs them everything, though, and with no plant, no buy. It's Brokey's solo rifle and 4 deagles surrounded by it. Contact play out ramp, no flash. Akor with a rare missed shot, and he goes back in with a nade. But FaZe, they bail, they dive out and leave it to the Palace play of Cold, who's being held by Bemis on the balk. There's really nowhere for free for FaZe, other than middle, but mousesports have been inclined to give this position away in most of these rounds. Fine to give up window boosts. It's not really cost them all too much in the grand scheme of things. Often won the rounds that FaZe have used the mid-control to their advantage. Think to BMAS dropping the bomb on default just rounds ago from CT. Oh, nice little aggro move from Mouse, moving 2 players down the ramp. Get a lot of control. FaZe are sending players back in through spawn, though, towards A. So this off position for BMAS could certainly catch out Olaf, who's coming in to line up utility. Will he check below him?
Nice little drill from BMAS. Won't outstay his welcome. Kirby is coming for info, though. Oh, that's a lot of info for Carrigan. Drops the bomb on short. We'll go back with the HE grenade knife combo for him. Props will be the first damage done for FaZe Clan in this one. They'll be looking for more than that, but maybe opportunities have come and gone now as only QRB remains. This is the first dig, lands the third one. 23 seconds on the clock, and he has Kevlar. 1900 though, he kind of needs to die here, and he will. And mousesports make it to 8. 2 players lost, but well, there could be impact from that actually. FaZe Clan have the potential to maybe send mousesports to eco, but first they've got to find some more success.
This is a really good look for mousesports, though, right? This is a good start on the their opponent's map pick. Things are looking good, and you know, I feel like you see this a lot with Mouse. Whenever they have these like, end-of-year breaks, a bit of time away to then come back and iron things out, it does feel like they give us good performances. Oh, all right. Brokey with the AWP, going to be there to put something up for FaZe. And that's teed them up now to maybe make this B play happen. There's a lot of attention here from FaZe Clan. They've got everyone, apart from Rain, over towards those apartments. He's sneaking down through middle. Not actually any smokes down to really help him outside of this this top mid corner smoke to get him out. He tries to go through it, but if he does, Frozen is waiting there on the other side. Now, there's not really much in that B site for mousesports right about now. Outside of Frozen at short, the other man's all the way back in market, and so that can give you a pretty wide berth into the site if you're FaZe, but they're not looking at B anymore. They've changed their mind, showing a lot of attention here early on, getting that pick, and now hoping that mousesports have overcompensated and rotated players round. They look back towards the A bomb site.
In terms of retake utility, we've only got some smokes here for mousesports, which could potentially create some space, but with one flashbang, things could get awkward for them if FaZe Clan, especially if FaZe Clan get an entry here onto BMAS, who's about to be isolated unless Carrigan can do something. He's trying to stay alive, but there's 2 very fast frags from FaZe Clan, and this round may be over. Again, mousesports don't have much money due to the damage that FaZe Clan at least did in those rounds prior. And indeed, mousesports will scurry away, and finally FaZe Clan find a third on their pick of Mirage, which hasn't been their greatest map, let's say, of late, but it's always time to turn it around.
Yeah, at least getting out of the round with something, right? Like, you hold on to this, you can maybe cobble something together, or at the very, very least, you've got something to throw in the way of this FaZe T side, try and put a stop to it, and then if not, maybe you get away with the AWP again next. Let's see what decision they end up making here, because it's still a very, very good scoreline, and it's still a long ways away from you getting too worried yet if you are mousesports. Obviously having to lean into that kind of rough CT side economy game.
I think the mousesports jerseys are pretty cool. The new ones, I say new, they're a couple of months old now, but I like them. Big fan.
They look like Tour de France, right? Tour de France jerseys or something.
I don't know, man. I think they're all right. I don't want to. No, they're not my favorite jersey. You know, I think sadly there's better jerseys out there, but I love the mousesports like brand, like all the colors and stuff. It's just, I don't know, man. There's some real good jerseys out there. I think you can make something well sick if you're mousesports.
Carrigan won't be happy, Harry.
I know he won't. I'm sorry, Carrigan. I didn't want to do you like this, but.
Sometimes you have to.
Oh, look at this.
Sometimes you gotta get it.
They've got by each other.
Robs!
How does he win that? hiding behind the boxes, behind enemy lines, bullets in the back of Rain's brain, and now FaZe, a desperate play into B. They smoke the Molotov. Olaf eats a grenade. One Deagle shot is all they need from him. Steals it, and Karrigan shoves it back. It's mousesports on 9, and brutal scenes in the B apartments.
Go on, Karrigan! Let's get it, man. mousesports on to 9.
Oh man, well, with Rop's top mid, I guess they felt like their hand was forced and they had to make the play while they had personnel there, but there was utility for mousesports, and that really compromised the positions of FaZe Clan, put them in a corner, and Karrigan put them out of their misery.
Yeah.
Eagles galore this week.
He saw Device with the Danish Deagle double down, and he wanted to do one of his own. Oh, more mid-pushing. Rain's waiting, but the flash timing, he pulls out a grenade. They're going to push him. BMAS catches him throwing utility, and this time no one gets blinded. It's a slaughter up the top of middle. mousesports with 2 to their name, and Frozen holding their behind. Lower is locked down, and so is this round, as it looks like a 10-3 scoreline, unless that nade could save the day. It's Cold and Brokey trying to claw this one back.
Brokey. Oh, there's the first. Any more for him? He's left in the clutch, trying to get out of there. And Karrigan's going to lay him to rest. So that will be mousesports moving up onto 10. Feeling pretty one-sided right about now. I wish we could say a bit more for FaZe at this point in time, but they haven't really given us much to hold on to yet and say like, yeah, that was sick or that worked. It must feel a bit like you're running into a brick wall at this point in time if you're FaZe Clan.
I ran into a fence once.
Yeah?
Actually, I ran into a brick wall once as well.
What was
I kind
the
of
reason?
fell into a brick wall.
Was it like a Hot Fuzz-esque, like trying to jump it, but just like running into it, or?
Never taken
Have you ever played a game
before?
40-40?
No.
Okay,
Oh,
so
40-40 in. Yeah.
you have to try and get to a base without the guy calling that he's seen you first.
Oh,
I put my hoodie on the wrong way around and thought, if I run at the base, he can't say he sees me because he can't see me. But I ran into a fence and almost knocked myself out.
Just because you can't see him doesn't mean he can't see you, surely.
And I had this egg-shaped bump like a rhino on my forehead. It was hilarious for everybody but me.
But enough about James's weekend. Back into this A play, because mousesports are getting hounded down. The Consmoke comes in at the right time, and it traps Brokey in the fight of Frozen, who wins it. And 3 health the difference. Rain is screwed, surely. There's the shot. And mousesports take 11. This is just dominant stuff. This is devastating for FaZe. And like said, not really a lot to work with, not really a lot to say, yeah, okay, this is working, this is consistent. mousesports have been giving FaZe a lot of mid-room and then, you know, swapping it up next round and pushing 2 towards the top of the boxes. So you never know what to expect if you're FaZe, whether mousesports are going to give you that respect or not. And right now, there's no reason to. Double AWP to do it in the last round of the half.
Flashbang being eaten. Everybody's alive for now, just about. A lot of repositioning as FaZe Clan take possession of mid. Some pre-fire from Rain. Got CT's trying to hold something in mid as Karrigan makes his way around a short positional ladder, but Brokey will find him. Been very cheeky half for Karrigan with much success, but on this occasion, no. So FaZe Clan have a man advantage, over a minute on the clock, and it gets better as BMS is picked off in Sandwich.
That's a ballsy peak for Rain, right? To go running up the stairs just to check that one angle. There's so many spots like default he could be open to, and it works wonders. Mals are trapped out of the site with only one man hiding in the boxes. It's Frozen. Stuck in place and sneaking in. He can't stop the bomb, but maybe he can kill him as he gets off the plot. He's lost another teammate. It's awkward for Frozen. He needs to do something unbelievable here to win this round, and he's playing things smart. He's not taking the first kill while he's got it. He's seen 2. That's info for Frozen, but not enough kills getting offered up. What is this? Now the gun's back out. He takes it while he's got it, and he might have more than another. 2 down, nade in. He's going to try and stick the bomb, tap quick to force another fight, but no one's falling for it, and Cold has cleaned up the round and the half. It's only 4 for FaZe. It's not perfect, but it might be enough. We'll have to see. Stick with us. Second half coming up in just a sec. Go.
Can you take it?
Yes, in the second half is just here. It's 11-4 at the half. mousesports looking fiery, looking ferocious on Mirage right now. FaZe kind of hanging their heads in shame. Can they recover? Can they make a name for themselves in the CT side? It all starts here and now with a pistol and a fast B play for the Mouse men.
5-man on deck into the B bomb site. Make it 3. coldzera is deleting one by one. Has he done his job though? For a few seconds for the rotation. If olofmeister can stay alive, it's a nice one tap onto Bemis. Then it was a 4-on-2, made 3 as Carrigan will create some space for FaZe for mousesports indeed. But they are kind of surrounded. The high ground is now with FaZe Clan. You might just get a pop before this bomb is planted, or maybe not. Trying to survive now. Acor 5 HP. He's got 2 more to get. Brokey and Kiabi dancing around these pillars. That's a headshot with the Glock, but he'll need more to find the kill onto Brokey. He's buying time now for Kiabi's rotation, moving in together, but Brokey will be enough, and FaZe Clan will take that pistol.
God, that got scary, man. Rain coming in behind in apartments and just doing so much damage to Acor on the plant. Oh. Acor finishes off Brokey. That's suddenly a very winnable round, but no. FaZe save their bacon. They float above water, just about. And a lot of that done by Cold and Olof with a pretty decent B-hole between the two of them. 3 kills, double from Cold. Olof, like you said, stalling for a good amount of time, finds himself 1. That's more than enough for your B defensive players. And mousesports are going to force up off the back of the plant. To be expected. We were talking about money earlier and how hard it can be for CTs to buy. Well, mousesports didn't even win the round and they've got 4 rifles in the second. So drops over, Frozen on an AK. And definitely around where, if anything, you could make an argument the mousesports are not favorites, but likely to win it, maybe destined to win it. Being said, the Org in window has other ideas. Brokey, the scope, trying to fight back. Frozen hasn't shown him that he's out behind the boxes. And it's a very slow round for mousesports in middle.
Yeah, easy does it here for Mouse, right? They're taking it nice and slow, trying to keep the element of surprise in this 4 spy as well, and they're hoping that they can catch FaZe, you know, maybe overextended, maybe offering something up. This is very, very slow mid approach with Carrigan now wrapping in through the lower tunnels. That'll probably be the signal to go and start to actually exert some of this pressure into mid. Yeah, be having to leave the connector because that smoke is now faded. And now our sports have got all this mid control they were after. They've thrown that top con smoke as well. That gives them a path up through Catwalk now to try and split this B site. But that's not the end game here. They've got 3 in con. They've got a late ramp player. And so this man over in the ladder room is instead trying to pincer Kiabi. They have him trapped. They know that he's here. And Carrigan tries to take matters into his own hands. Does get dropped, but the trade is in immediately. And now the A-site play on the cards. They're out through con, but they've got very little time, and time is always ticking away. They've got to get this bomb down. They've got to get into the swing of things because they are running out of time left on the clock. Rops will get the bomb down. That's something at least. He's trapped in the site, having a fight tooth and nail, and there it is, the cat flank blindsiding him. It's Frozen and BMAS left up in the 2v2. Frozen with the swing, taps out the first man, and it's all left on to Olof, who does get it down to the 1v1. It's close, it's tight, but the MP9, not what he wanted. Scoped with the Org, the jiggle peaks coming in, and Olof wins the round.
It's gun game over here.
Crazy. I think the crouch spam, you could see he started standing up and crouching really, really slow. After coldzera's flank on short was taken out, I thought, oh my god, that's such a massive kill. Surely there's a big percentage for mousesports here. No kit for olofmeister either, and mousesports will surely feel like that one was somewhat given away. A very strong position. While they didn't have CT and there were 3 guys there for FaZe Clan, the short plant was available to them. And again, killing that flank from coldzera should have been enough, but on this occasion, olofmeister denies them.
Yeah, that definitely felt like the ball drop for mousesports, but they've got the breathing room, they've got the round lead, and so they can be fine for now. Another reinvestment, but again, the same problems, right? Only 2 AKs in this buy. It's through the smoke with a flash, Rain fully blinded, doesn't know how many have made it out, but, well, he finds out the hard way. BMAS domes him and is going to likely jump for the stairs kill. Drops instead. and just crosses. The bomb makes its way to the site, and with the jungle smoke, BMAS finds a gap to fire through. Kjaerbye dead, Acorn pushing towards spawn as well. There's a FAMAST player back here on his own. Cold reuniting with Olof, and actually FaZe might just concede. They might just surrender and go in with a save. They're already backing out towards the market in this 3-on-5. It's a hard call to make, but unfortunately it's the right call to make, as FaZe would be eco if they lost all 3 of these players.
I wonder if it's too early to say it's looking like an early bath for FaZe Clan. Again, their CT side is yet to begin, really, but mousesports aren't going to be too far away from closing this game out soon enough, so they've got to start turning things around pretty damn sharpish, FaZe Clan. Now, see if they buy a little or fully commit around these rifles that they have saved. 3 rifles is quite significant, but there is a deagle on Brokey as well, which you could drop to a teammate, so we'll see what they choose to do. They are to fully invest in this round and lose. They are pretty much fucked, I think it's fair to say, but let's see what they do.
You're not wrong. Not wrong at all. And yeah, I mean, this felt not like it was over at the half, but already pretty dire, pretty out of shape for FaZe. Pistol gave us a bit of hope, but is that hope going to get dragged away as Mouse will speed up the pace? Oh, the flash of void for Karrigan. There's no way Cold knows he is this close. Look, he's already backing up with his back turned. Karrigan has walked in. He is about to slip the knife in the back of Cold. Bullet to the side of the head, and there's the B pick they needed. One more man towards the van, and FaZe have no idea what's going on. That's a good trade for Olof, but he's not going to get any more as they fall in above him. 4-on-3. Oh, nice shot for Kjaerbye. Denies the plant for now, but there's still trades for mousesports. No kill goes unpunished. Rain doing some damage, pressured back. Frozen with a gap above the site. That's a lovely little off angle for Frozen there. You can barely be seen, and Brokey now in a clutch that he may as well give a go. We know what this guy can do in clutch situations. It's not going to be easy.
Oh dear.
Well,
okay.
Maybe it's easy, actually.
That was a really good smoke by him, but I feel like Kjaerbye's deagle shot on short gives them just enough opportunity to lose everything they have. Whereas if he's not successful there, he doesn't lose much, about 1,700, and they save 2 rifles. But again, he opened the door just a little bit, enough for them to slip a shoulder and just get blasted in the face. And that puts them in an even worse position. But I can't believe how fast Karrigan got up into this spot. Yeah. He was basically playing ladder faster than the CTs, which is absolutely outrageous. And FaZe Clan may never get a good hold, a good footing in this game of Mirage, the way things are going. Their money absolutely sucks, and they have to buy nothing in this round. It's not really worth it. They need every penny for the 6-14 probable scoreline.
Yeah, you hope this is a round that Mouse win. If it isn't, you know, you always end up feeling kind of sour that somehow USPs have done something. You know, they've stacked everyone at B. Looks like it could be the right call, but mousesports, they're not feeling any pressure. They're not having a rush. They can take it slow. They can wait and kind of let FaZe, you know, give them enough rope to hang themselves, as it were, right? That's what you're hoping happens here, is that they just kind of overstep, they throw the round away, they don't get anything done. That little kill there with the USP has actually netted Cold and AK, so that's something at least. But I'm really clutching at straws to try and find any hope for FaZe in a round like this. It's not really going to happen ever, so you kind of write that off as the bomb makes its way in towards the A site, now looking to go down. Cold might be thinking about saving this AK. Gonna hang around in the early stages, right? See if he can do anything with it. But that utility has tagged him down low, and so he's already bowing out of the round. This is 14 on the board for mousesports. It's not really much of a surprise. There wasn't much for FaZe in this one. And now FaZe have only got one chance to put a stop to this, really. Like, you know, you've got this buy up against 14, and if that doesn't go your way, then you're broke, as is the way of this CT side economy, or you're forced into a save. But even that kind of influences how you might approach a round from the get-go.
That's a great debut for an A-core on mousesports as well. It's not like he's, you know, shining bright. He's been fine. He's hit some AWP shots on CT side when needed, but it's not like we've really relied or you know, required A-core to be a carry in this game. But it's going to be a good feeling to take down FaZe, albeit a wounded FaZe, this easily for mousesports. With FaZe's, I think, roster under a lot of question, and especially what you said earlier, James, in the pregame about Olaf maybe not wanting to play, I think that has somewhat been echoed, yeah, and, you know, more filling in for the time being. It's not going to be easy for FaZe, and, well, this game is a just example of that. 14-6, nice kill for Rain. Actually yoinks it from Kierby, who was pushed in further on the ramp, and Karrigan with some B pressure, but the bomb's going out mid right now, so it's not a commitment out of the gate. He's hoping to force some early rotates. Not much getting gifted over. That Famas is on burst. Oh, lucky he didn't commit with that. They're going to re-aggro the smoke as well. Olaf is very close towards it. Karrigan backs out, so with Olaf's position, he knows that B is fine, and no one really adjusts their position in this round. Only the window player coming over to help mark it, but he's already retreating back to CT spawn, and it is going to be that A split right now. Karrigan's left, the bomb is going in late, BMAS has connector, and that smoke should fade soon.
Keep an eye on Karrigan on the radar. Sorry, on Olafmeister. See if he does anything forward before a play comes in from mousesports, as he has been left alone with the off angle. Karrigan now going for the wide swing. Spot one by default, but there may be another one to deal with here. There's a very basic pop flash from Rain. No response though. We've got Kierby maybe looking for multi-frags. He knows Karrigan and the bomb are on the site. He'll tell his C teammate not to go too wide. Looking for that second kill there. Down goes Karrigan. Going to sandwich now, but not full trade. That leaves two. Brokey and Olafmeister. 20 seconds to plant the bomb, however. They need angles, and that will certainly help. Brokey alone now. Headshot, but an instant trade from BMAS. And it's game point for mousesports.
That's such a hard spot for Kierby, right? Because you know he wants more than one kill in that round, but he also knows at the same time, while he's got that one kill, he should, in essence, take it. Because if he swings to kill someone else and then finish Karrigan, there's a chance he gets nothing, right? There's a chance as a player looking his way, and he just dies on a wide swing. So he has to shoot Karrigan first, really, in that position, and then his position's given up. And Rops just swivels and trades. Great reaction for Rops. Like, he had to react immediately to keep that round alive, and he did, only giving Kierby the one kill. It wasn't enough. mousesports win with one man alive, so that really shows how valuable 2 kills could have been for Kierby in that position, but could not have done much more. 15-6, and this is looking lost for FaZe. Is there any way to save their day? Push on ramp. With spray for Rops, it is a frag for Cold, and a double push as well. They can even grab that AK. If they push Palace, they will regret it, as Acor is waiting patiently and immediately back into a 4-on-4, but not for long. Rain gets a B pick, and Karrigan sneaking behind his opponents, as he often is.
Oh, but does he know about the man in the site? Doesn't look like it, so Kierby could be the undoing. What's happening? They don't know. There's one. Oh, jump scare. And it's Kierby back inside of the site to finally silence Karrigan. No one really knows what just happens there for FaZe, right? They're scratching their heads. How on earth was Karrigan there? And so now mousesports still feeling this A bomb site, wanting to finish what Karrigan started, wanting to get this game over and done with. Out through ramp they go, and Kierby's scared about them being in CT. That's how little information they had about these players. I mean, there was only one, but they don't know that. And so they're paranoid that there's more players slipped in through CT, maybe a window boost. And so now it's all left onto Olaf to try and keep the game ticking on for FaZe Clan. 1v2 on his plate. It's a pretty tall order indeed, and with only the MP9 to accompany him, it's not looking good for FaZe. Olaf, in he comes, slowly but surely. Might dodge the timing on the man in through ramp and could catch the CT player, but just looks away at the wrong time. mousesports, they're going to lock this victory in pretty dominantly over on Mirage. Great stuff from Karrigan. We saw a lot of aggression out of him that was always going unchecked, was always getting away with a lot more than it should have been allowed to do. And you could see how much it was making FaZe second-guess themselves there throughout really a lot of those rounds, but most specifically in that final round with Kierby, not even looking at ramp, not even considering it.
Yeah, I mean, mousesports kind of flexing, kind of styling, and we like that, right? Obviously, FaZe a little bit underwhelming, considering that's their map pick as well. Train coming up next, the Orbs being loud and proud for Acor as well. James, is there any hope for FaZe moving forward?
I think, you know, their stats are historically, of late at least, terrible on Mirage, and they continue that way. I don't think it's over just yet. Again, it's an awkward situation for them, but it can't be worse than what we saw there because that was just dominance from their opponent. So I think that they should come into train ready to throw some punches for sure.
All right, let's see if it happens. Let's go to a break, and we'll come back with that second map of the series. Train, mousesports' pick, and their chance to 2-0 in a few minutes. Stick around.
So I have a question. So Harry, you're at Hugo's house, right?
Yeah.
So if you got one of these purple, like UV torches, how many stains do you think you'd find on Hugo's sofa?
Well, so the reason why I didn't bring one, James, is because I didn't want to. I don't want to know. I think ignorance might be bliss in this situation. Yeah. Because God knows what's been happening here, right? Like that's the big worry. And
what do you guys think in the chat in terms of numbers, right? Like, how many stains do you think you would find on Hugo's sofa with a UV light?
What stains are we talking about, James?
Just put numbers in the chat. What stains? Just things that will come up with. I don't know what comes up with a light like this.
No, yeah, I mean, what could possibly come up? Yeah,
I use it to loom my watches when I'm taking pictures of them. So in terms of like stains, I would honestly have no idea, Hugo. But let us know what you think in the chat. Oh God! Well, there we go. So that might be before. What about after? What about after this week? Maybe there'll be more stains. Who knows?
Look, James, you come around and you can contribute as many stains as you want. How?
No, I'm good, mate. I'm gonna look after my shoes over here. So
yeah,
I'll just be. I'll be out here
stain-free,
doing my thing.
I get
lazy. I get lazy, to be honest. I used to like clean all these Jordan 1s, all these like white soles. I used to clean those, but now I can't be bothered. But what I can be bothered with is the odds from Betway. FaZe Clan now 2.6 to the 1.4 of mousesports, who have to be a heavy favorite after that first game we saw.
Yeah, no other way of putting it, right? Like now moving not only from, maybe a bad map for FaZe, but they're picking this series now to mousesports' their highest win percentage map, a great AWP map. And while we know Brokey can be sick, well, so can Acor. And we didn't really get to see all too much of, Brokey's styling in that first one. Didn't have the AWP a whole lot, right? Like getting 16-6, you're not going to have a lot of rounds of money. So, yeah, I hope FaZe can start things off stronger here. It was just a case of mousesports running away with that game, as you probably maybe expect, given FaZe Clan's tumultuous time with the roster, and Karrigan looking damn good in the server as well, right? Not just individually showing up and fragging, but bleeding really, really well. Some great calls on that T side as well, just to close it out in a jiffy. So I've not got too much fear for mousesports. I'd like to think it's a 2-0, but who knows, James? Who knows?
One of the things that we saw when Woxic left, right, was Karrigan kind of donning the AWP more, and I really like that we have, even though Karrigan can AWP, I really like that we have more like vintage Karrigan here, where he's in your face, right? And on Train, this was like a map that he was always really, really good at doing that, right? Keep an eye on him on that T side, going for these like fast main pushes, just getting in your face, giving us a bit more of what he was doing there on Mirage, where he's always like way deeper than anyone was ready for. And that happened to so many players on the FaZe side, and it's frustrating to play against because you feel like you're always looking over your shoulder, right? You're always making sure, oh, well, has Karrigan snuck his way into some horrible position that he has no business being in? So I think having Acor being that dedicated AWPing player has helped free Karrigan up again to occupy that role. And it felt like that's what was missing when Woxic stepped away, right? That and the fact that like the AWPing between like Karrigan and Chris J didn't really live up to like the same hype of a Woxic or of an Acor. So yeah, I mean, if you want to look at bright sides for FaZe, I would look at Brokey here. I think he always gives good performances on this map. It's one where he can really look to dominate with that AWP. And so I think he could prove to be a pretty important factor in this series if FaZe do want to pull it back.
Sure, and even Karrigan on the CT side of this map as well. He was one of the first players to really make that org super, or not making it meta, but to bring it out before it was meta. And he's always been running it towards Ivy, getting up close towards team A, even on the CT side of round. So definitely going to see some more org play from Karrigan. I know you love the org, James, but we'll get to that later as we have a quick break before the second map continues. So stick around. Train is just around the corner.
Welcome back, bitches, to CS Summit number 7. On the internet, so there's no Chick-fil-A this time. Man, Chick-fil-A wait, no, Jordan would like to have the tacos. He loves himself some Mexican food. So there'd be people either wanted like tacos or Chick-fil-A. But I don't really do finger food much. So when we got tacos, there was some they had like fish, like we would have in a fish and chip shop in the UK, and it was really good. But I'll just remove the fish. Not that I would leave the empty taco there because I'm not a prick, but I'll just put that in the bin or just, do away with that. Put it on my plate and just leave it there. But there we go.
So what you're saying is you just eat the chips?
No,
No,
he
not
said
fish
take
and
the
chips.
fish out.
Fish,
Yeah.
like from fish and like battered fish.
Oh, I thought you said fish and chips.
But it was in a taco. It was in a taco.
Okay.
Yeah, it was very. Not what I expected, but it was. The fish was really good. So.
Yeah, no, man. I can relate to that, man. Mexican food is like glorious, right? So we were gonna get some burritos, but they're like British burritos, so you know what they're kind of like, right? It's never the same. We got them from like a fast food place, and they were horrible, James. They were horrible. So in
What
Oxford.
Are you talking? Oh, in Oxford. Yeah. Burritos in Oxford.
Yeah, right. So yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Dangerous game.
Man.
Yeah, we do. I just want to eat some good. I just want to eat some like good burritos. That's all I'm about.
Well,
I'm a big burrito guy. Yeah. CS Summit 8. When it's back, we get the burritos there. I'll be there.
The Modelo's pretty good as well. Mexican beer, Modelo Especial. Big fan of that. I can't drink like lager and stuff, but Modelo I can. So.
See, the one time I went to like a real Mexican restaurant, I walked there, but I was in America for like the second time ever. And I walked there and then I ordered alcohol and they asked for ID and I realized at the time I was 20. I was like, oh, I showed them it and then they were like, yeah, you're not old enough. And I'm like, oh yeah, wait, I forgot UK law is different, isn't it? Because you got to be older there. So I walked like literally for like an hour to go somewhere to get a drink and then wasn't allowed to drink, which was pretty cool. I had water instead.
Wow.
And the water was banging, let me tell you now. Like it was a good glass of water, tall glass as well, like where it's all frosted on the outside. There was a little bit of ice, but they went sparing on it, and I appreciated that. I appreciated that there wasn't much. So yeah, that's what we're talking about. Welcome to CS Summit. So look, man, we got this mousesports FaZe game going on. Yeah, right. We got this mousesports FaZe game going on, and honestly, thus far from FaZe, we haven't really seen much that's got us very excited, right? And I'm hoping that with Train, that they can free up guys like Brokey. I think really he's going to be key. Cold as well. I want to see even more from. I feel like these two can make all the difference. I really do. And then for mousesports, I'm excited to see Acor on a map like Train. I think here he's also going to be given a lot more freedom, a lot more importance to get these opening kills, to be the man to create space, whereas before it felt like he was kind of just slotting in to the mousesports system back on Mirage. I want to see what he's capable of when he's given that room.
Hey Prius, you're looking beautiful.
Prius on the 1s and 2s. I'm trying to get him into FPV drones. I got him to fly mine and out to the field, although that's my fault more than his, but we need to do it, Prius. Buy the gear. Let's get it going for next time I'm in America. We'll go and fly. Well then, this is a big round for FaZe Clan. Definitely want to start as they mean to go on. They have the luxury of the CT side on Train. Didn't do them much good on Mirage, but perhaps this can be different.
Fingers crossed. It's a very slow start here in this T-side pistol, and eventually they go, yeah, let's just run out main. The Glock's at range. Oh, tag on a Brokey. He's still alive, still a threat back in connector. Has to be a little bit more measured now. Kirby putting up numbers. There's the response from Frozen and Acor. How have they done that with Glocks through the little pixel angle? Oh, another Frozen taps him out of the server. And now it's all left onto one man for the FaZe side. Cole Zera, a big order for him, does deal with the first, and now only one man left to beat. It's somehow down to this close 1v1 scenario, so back and forth throughout the entirety of that pistol there. And now Cole trying to play it measured, trying to play it cool, Zera, as he moves around the back, but a couple of missed shots, and oh no, might be cool, but not better than Frozen as he's backed out. And now it's mousesports looking to lock this pistol in for Cole. There should be no way that he gets away with this one, right? He's just getting teased, he's sticking it, and there it is. A wide swing in, locks in that pistol for mousesports.
He had a free shot on Frozen as well. Absolutely free. Perhaps a little panic there from coldzera. Normally a safe pair of hands. Frozen with 4 kills in that pistol round. Nice to see at least one P250, especially there are so many long channels of engagement on maps such as Train. But it was a Glock to make the difference on this occasion. So they lose the pistol, FaZe Clan. And they will start on the arse end of things here. It will be a force buy though. See Brokey with the scout, a bunch of deagles as well. He can bait players into taking very narrow engagements with you, where minimal correction is needed with these deagles. But the smokes will help alleviate that. Olofmeister through the smoke doesn't need no angles.
Oh, this is brutal. Bomb's dropped in a really compromised spot as well. Acor's on a recovery mission. Does catch a kill getting there, but Brokey moves away from the smoke, conceding that bomb to still stop them from crossing to the site, but he's giving them a lot of room right now. FaZe still have a man on the bomb train, essentially, with that deagle. It's rain, but not for long. Acor picks him above the train, and Robs could go through connector here. He could go B, or he could just flank these CT players on A. If he tells his team to stay alive and stop giving up the gunfights, Robs can go on the long con, the full flank, round the world, and back again, and no one's even considering it. This is a perfect play for Robs. Oh dear, there's a freebie. He can't quite take it. Robs, Glock is out, chasing the kill. His teammate's getting frags, and Robs does finish the job. It drew enough attention away. He now knows he's being hounded down, can escape in time, as the deagle only does damage. Cold, same spot, harder job in the 1-on-3, and Robs offered up. There's one. No trade from the site. They're both low. Acor doesn't want to give it up, and we definitely don't need to see a replay. While he's in the clutch, he's got another. It's all on Frozen, who's walking back from inner. Bomb not for him, but no kit for Cold. Surely he can't stick this one. And he's moved off of it. Frozen should see it in just a second, and this is his. He's just not even taking the shot. He just goes, fine. You want to walk away? You can walk away.
He's got no kit, but he could pick up a rifle at the very least, coldzera. So he'll take something from this, but it will be 2-0 to mousesports. Outmaneuvered at the very end by Frozen, who will fall to the bomb. That's a plus for FaZe Clan. At least everybody from mousesports died. So if they are to win a round in future, it's a little less pressure as they try to turn things around, but holy hell, this was awkward. Very messy is the Mac-10 from range, so lots of bursting from Robs, but the Glock will keep him safe just about. That was somewhat hairy though. And who knows if that kill goes the other way. 2-0 for mousesports. A lot of HGs for FaZe Clan, which may be headed towards A main. Nobody home, however. Perhaps a recon mission for the Mac-10s into the B-bomb site, which is currently empty.
They threw the smoke on the way to connector, but no one's actually playing B, and so mousesports, they run right past the ramp, they filter out upper, and a free bomb plant, likely around here to be expected. Cold, anything he can do here is welcome, but unexpected with that solo Galil. And mousesports, very deep in the post plant as well. They can cut off these rotations, trapped to the choke points. Nice nade set onto BMAS, but it's not going to kill him, and he's not wavering.
Not often you see nades like that. Normally they're from the T side in B halls if they're expecting a push from the CTs. And they're looking to cause some mayhem now, FaZe Clan. Not too much to lose. We've got a rifle on coldzera, which could be lost. But apart from that, it's just massive damage. I don't think they've got time to defuse the bomb. But again, mousesports are losing so many players. Look how little money they have. Normally in a 3-0 situation, a T side will have a full buy in the hole. So if like FaZe Clan, for example, won the next round, they need to make sure they keep their numbers up because the T side will have a full buy the round afterwards to really break them. But that may not be the case here, as mousesports have taken heavy damage in these rounds.
Yeah, now things get a little more exciting, right? With that context of the fact that the money is going to be in a bit of a rough spot for mousesports as a result of so many players dying back to back, and now this first investment coming through for FaZe, they're actually in a really good spot to get around and then have that carry over, right, and actually mean something in the grand scheme of this first half. Potentially keeping Mouse on that back foot in terms of the money, and very, very quickly, you know, you could look to equalize. That said, while that's the situation they find themselves in, it's also like the same in terms of their own money, where they could be reset if they lose this one right away. So BMAS trying to get that trade, can't trade Carrigan out. Still waiting, but now he's trapped, and now it's like an even odds fight. BMAS is kind of sweating bullets here, while Kjaerbye's just patient, waiting on the angle. Smoke goes down, Kjaerbye's trying to go over, but this looked like what BMAS was trying to do with that smoke, and he's ready for it. Baits Kjaerbye into going up and over, now flashing his teammates out of the pop dog, and this push into the A site, slowly but surely seeping through the cracks. Brokey trying to plug them. Has put up one. There's another from Rain. And so FaZe now in this 4-on-2.
God, you can see how awkward this fight has been for all concerned. Brokey dancing around the bomb site, swinging the barrel. He swings it no more. And again, it's cold zero to try and make something happen on the A bomb site. But he will just eat bullets in the face. And now Rain 1v2 sees the shadow, but where is the second player? He'll try and blindside the guy above him. Ooh. And it's a bomb carrier as well. Frozen almost doing 360. 20 seconds now for Rain to dance. Very low in HP, but quietly trying to slink away and reset the situation. Maybe force teammates into a bomb plant, but there won't be one because there's a headshot from Rain. Maneuvers carefully, and that's a much needed round for FaZe Clan. Again, only 1 of 10 players surviving. Has been a war of attrition so far. We'll see what mousesports choose to do.
Yeah, perfect play for Rain. That's what you need from him. That's what FaZe desperately need as to not get swept in this series, right? Get on the board ASAP. Brokey on the AWP. And you talk about that damage, James, from the 1 rounds for mousesports, but losing 4 or 5 players and each of them post-pistol. Well, now that's finally come into play. They lose 1 gun round and boom, it's a forced buy situation. Deagles with a hero AK on Rops. So
that is
already
a glorious grenade. It didn't hit anyone, but look how deep that went. That's extremely specific.
Yeah, when we were covering NAEPL, there were a lot of teams that were learning. Team 1, actually, the Brazilian team, that learned lineups that they threw every time they played Train. And you throw them from bomb Train on A, and you double nade through the window, and they were just killing players crossing to B on pistol rounds. Time after time. Every series they did it, and every series it worked. So, yeah, it's a cool idea, getting nades in through those windows. You can also flash if you want to send your teammate up the ladder. Obviously, a lot more risky there.
Yeah, so for those of you at home, breaking that glass allows you to, for example, throw a smoke towards Ivy to cut off angles for the CTs. So if you're expecting grenades to be thrown, meaty HE from that could be a game changer. But for now, it'll be Operation Human Shield. mousesports heading into the B bomb site. All pistols here on 4 remaining players, but Robs has got the AK actually. I'm sure the Deagle will go first to try and create some space for him, but he'll do more than that. Frozen taking Cold Zero out and delivering even more than that. He can push forward through the bomb site now, which makes things really hard for FaZe Clan in terms of a retake.
Oh, and he's trying to go further. Frozen right behind enemy lines, and he's traded places with the comp players. There's the flick back from Rain, and it's death from above as he puts up the double. Now down to 2 for mousesports. Frozen got this round started. Now we're looking at BMAS and Co to try and get it over the line. They're getting closer, and he's doing damage, but only good for that. Olof left in the clutch. Acor up here in the heavens. With the peek, gets the info that he is not on that bomb. Olof is trying to leave, and Acor's happy with those results. mousesports with just the Deags and armor, they are able to put a 4th up. Frozen with those entries to create all that space, charging in down through the ramp. And trying to go even further. I love the fact that he really pushed the envelope on it, like all the way into con. Good awareness from Rain, right, to realize that something's amiss when Frozen doesn't resurface after that aggression through the site.
Yeah, I wonder if there was a question mark on the radar there, because that was quite a frag.
Yeah, Rain's on top of the train, so he can probably see him just above that smoke. Frozen was just a little bit too low, so even though they were looking at each other for some time, Frozen just doesn't know that Rain's there until it is already too late. Now that hero AWP surrounded by pistols for FaZe, the money tipped on its head, flipped back in the favor of mousesports. Brokey running around the site, going full device, looking for these picks anywhere they are presented, but they're so deep already, and he's seen nothing. Frozen picking up Kjaerbye. The trade is good. Brokey gets spammed, though, tagged down to 20, and Olof's Deagle does come alive for 1. Karrigan's on the bomb train, and Rain is no longer alive, and neither is Brokey, as these pistols now are all that remains. Team Flash, not going to be a problem. Cold is also blinded, and Karrigan, in a precarious position, continues to spray. It's a round for mousesports nonetheless, although it got a bit scary in the middle there with shots from Brokey and Olof. Not enough for a round though, and now FaZe can come back in with the full buy after that eco. Oh, this buy perhaps for Carrigan. It's not going to be a worry though. He might be taking that up for the spawn. Does have good spawn to pick, but no, sticking with the AK.
Is he going straight in with some flashbang support? HE to the middle of the bomb site in case of a fast boost for the CTs. Nothing too meaty happens on this occasion. We could see how important it is for the pistols to stay alive around that AWP and just make noise and threaten the peak, give him some space to work with. And we can see Brokey now by Sandwich up close with the AWP. He wants to reset his position. You can see Olofmeister creeping as he gets his ears shaved by Frozen, left to right in the smoke. That is a blind spot position which one will check for. Olofmeister will hear that scope. There's some presence shown further away, and he goes for the peak actually, but Aiko could catch him here. Ooh. Misses his flick, however, but there's a trade frag from Frozen.
Yeah, very well played. Olof was ready for a second player there. He heard the spam from the AK earlier. Gets out with a flash from his teammate and trades 1-for-1. mousesports in a 2-on-2, and they're going back to grab that bomb. It's a long way away. Brokey's still alive with the AWP as well. He's 2 kills deep in the round so far. mousesports making a lot of noise. This will be heard. Brokey is ready. Has that bomb, but the smoke is down and his blind shot hits nothing. I like this Ivy push though. A big flank coming through. If mousesports don't speed up, or if they try and bail and go B, they could get shot in the back right now. Instead, they commit forward. Brokey needs to get at least one here. He needs to stay alive. And they're crossing to the site. He's dodged them for now. Peeked in the face by Frozen and Cold with the flank. His timing is good, but can he do anything? The bomb's going down.
This is a big chance though, right? No one's ready for it yet. He's here a little bit faster than they might be ready for. However, he seems to have missed the timings. They've gone through that smoke in Ivy and now dodged Cold's error on this wrap round. He's continuing to go in, still looking to try and make this clutch happen. With so much time ticked off for the bomb, it's getting less and less likely by the second. Cold's error maybe out of chances here. There's the swing, has dealt with Frozen, and now just Rop's left to beat, but it's the time that's the problem. And so he's just saving that AWP. He's just getting out of there with what he can. It's a real shame, right? A real chance on that flank. But sadly, the kills just never materialize. mousesports do a great job of dodging him.
Ooh, oh, he heard Rop's running at the end there. Oh, desperately trying to take away that AWP. It's a good save, but definitely in a 2-on-2 that FaZe really would have wanted to win. Frozen hits a banger by taking down Brokey at the back of green. If Brokey can either stay alive and wait for Cold or just get a kill there and get traded, that's surely a FaZe round. Instead, mousesports build and build some more. Another eco for FaZe around this AWP. And, well, last time, James, they put the pistols around the AWP. They got some value out of it, but they still lost the round with only 2 kills. Will this be any better? Probably not if mousesports walk inner when FaZe have no one there.
There's surely a flash for Rain towards the end of the smoke as he's standing very close to main. Lack of defuse kits in the last round for FaZe Clan. Olof, Brokey, and Cold Zero. None of those 3 had one from what I could see. Have been shortcomings in the buys from FaZe Clan, and as we have indicated, there's of course one here as it is a hero AWP on Cold Zero. Now the B bomb site's been taken. Do they even risked it? They're carrying a lot of money on them. Brokey can pick up the rifle. The Molotov will shoot him away. We can see a reposition to CT. Not necessarily a commitment though, unless Olofmeister can get something. He's only got a deagle, of course. Rain's coming in as well. So Cold Zero is still in a spot where he could fall back, but they will fish for something. They still have 1 smoke in tow, which could be used here, trying to pepper Frozen. But that cleanup of Olofmeister and Rain should stop FaZe from taking further risks. mousesports will move to 7 on the T side of Train, looking pretty unstoppable at the moment.
Someone's deep fried Frozen, man. He is crispy as hell right now. He is clicking skulls. There's not a lot that FaZe can do about it. How does he get away alive and with both kills there after Olof tags him down? No idea.
Now, he is looking really good, isn't he? Because, like, you know, towards the end of Woxic's tenure in this team, we also weren't really seeing all too much from Frozen. He had, like, occasional good games, but it didn't feel like the most consistent thing ever. And obviously, still early days. We've had, like, the addition of A-Core, but I more think maybe it's this little break to give everyone some time. You know, there were a lot of games played all throughout 2020, and a lot of teams were complaining about, you know, feeling exhausted. Well, it's looking good for Frozen right now. It feels like he's come back kind of recharged after some time away. It's exciting as well to think about the prospect of having like all these big fraggers, right? You've got Rops, who we all know and love, and then you look down this list at the kind of lesser proven names like BMAS, like your Frozens. But we know that they've always had it in them, and they have given us those moments. It's more been about the consistency.
Oh, no way Cole wins that fight. He won't get out alive, but he was in hot water for a second there with players walking through ramp smokes and drops out upper. Still a plan for mousesports. The solo B player going 1-for-1 has forced FaZe to retake, and these rounds can be so hard if mousesports don't get aggressive and give you kills. You know, look at how passive they're playing. Sat on the bomb site, a player still playing in the halls with a Molotov. It's A-Core on upper. This is going to be a very hard round for FaZe with no smoke for the bomb. They throw in their last incendiary to do anything here, but mousesports have room to move, and Karrigan's on a big flank from those halls. He's going to backstab. There's one. Can't double down. Olaf on the site. BMAS with the spray. They're getting close, and BMAS is doing everything they need and more. Molly on the bomb coming at the right time, and that is the signal to get out alive. Brokey is running, and mousesports are winning 8-1. There's just no stopping them right now. BMAS even grabs that AWP as A-Core dies to the bomb. And it's just
I almost feel like mousesports left the doors open for FaZe Clan to rotate in and lose everything they were carrying in that round, just to make them make it easier in future. That's kind of how it felt there. It's like, sure, come into the bomb site, fight for this. Let's just put up some smokes here. Let's just put up some delayed flashbangs, pick you off one by one, and force you to buy within an inch of your economy. Whereas if they win this round now, mousesports, things start to get a little more free. The loss bonus is high, of course, for FaZe Clan, but it all helps.
On top of that, they also box in FaZe with Karrigan, who was halls waiting to see if FaZe were giving it a go. And then he just moves out into pop into A and flanks Con. Like, FaZe have no escape. They have no way to retreat. They are trapped between enemies on both fronts. So, yeah, it's a nice little bait play for Mouse. And Karrigan given the AWP. He is low. Rops again, just walking, or sorry, Frozen walking down B. No, he's in a different smoke. It is Rops on B, it's Frozen on Ivy, and he's going to get picked up by Olaf on this AWP. 2 in play, 1 saved. That Molly, no idea how it's not burning. Kiemi walking on fire and flames, but BMAS will take him down off the top. It's a 3-on-3, and Olaf is giving away A as mousesports get closer.
That is an extreme side profile of Brokey's head compared to everybody else. He's like full 90 degrees. 40 seconds as things get quiet now. Yeah, right, we're being teased. There's a flash ball off Meister reset into bullets afterwards. There it is. Look at that 90-degree angle. Let's go. Jawline, baby. Man advantage for mousesports as they look to plant the bomb. 27 seconds left as Brokey creeps up Ivy. Doesn't get a kill here. Just a really deep flashbang. Takes him off the angle. Tries to make his way back in. Nice flick. Hold on a second. We got stereo frags. Cold Zera melting A-Core and cleaning up Rops as well. And finally, FaZe Clan able to double their score late on in this first half.
Mate, that's the reason why Brokey's head's like that. That's how quick he was turning there. He dodges the flash and then flicks back in. That's wild. How on earth did they just turn that around? It looked like it was done. Like,
yeah, I think,
like you know, everyone was just kind of like, yeah, that's another mousesports round right there. Then Brokey and Cold, nah, not today.
So quick.
Look, whoop, snap back, and then he's like, right then, boom, he's gone. A-Core burns out to the Molotov as well, trying to get the trade from Pop, but ends up betraying him.
That was a very awkward frag for Brokey as well. He kind of dealt with it and made it look very reasonable. Yeah. Perhaps it was for him, but that was like incredibly awkward.
He made it look cooler than it had to be, you know, like he added in a bunch of 12s, bunch of other stuff. Made all of us be, you know, like kind of cringing at the sight of it, and then he hits it, and you're like, well, all right, whatever works, if that's how you find it easiest.
I wonder if players ever do like lowest kills pays the bill, at least on a T side, because it's not really fair on a B side, right? If you're playing B bomb site or something.
Maybe that's why no one likes being the support player in teams, because that's like the rule set that's standard.
All lowest flashes, lowest enemies flashed, pays the bill. Well then, FaZe Clan fighting for a chance to claw things back in the second half. So far, they've got 2 rounds from 10. Olaf Meister, a simple pop flash from Brokey. That'll be successful. The direction though towards main. Gabi will trade his teammate. Very important. FaZe coming in, dropping the bomb. Surely that was heard as well. Now there are problems for mousesports as they try to rescue that and rescue this round. Acor doing what he can, taking big risks. And Ropski will try and play off of this. Brokey can onto the pistol, but it won't be enough. Headshot from Rops now. Smokes up on the A bomb site, and maybe this bomb can get planted. Then again, Olaf Meister still lurking around the back. Acor with 10 HP versus 2.
Wow, the spam through the smoke for Olaf. It didn't come up as a smoke kill, so maybe he had a gap, or Rops was further through so he could be seen. But yeah, that's a perfect play for Olaf. Looked like Rops may have saved the round by coming through. And Frozen was so desperate to trade by, you know, dropping that bomb and swinging back in main as the smoke comes in. Like he's so desperate to trade. I don't think he's even really ready for the fight there. Barely looking back after dropping the package, and now mousesports, never thought I'd see it. They're broken, they're on Glocks. It was about time. FaZe, with a couple of rifle rounds here, have forced these T's to eco. The only deagle on Acor, and okay, not even really seen. Rain tickles his toes and takes him down a notch as mousesports run through, dry into A. It's easy peasy for Rain and Kierby. Only Rops remains, but not for long.
So FaZe are getting something going back their way, right? But I think really, if you're FaZe Clan here, you're looking at kind of going for the remainder of this first half. I think you want to be going flawless, right? 7 to 8, that you can come back into that. It's just the fact that mousesports already have a great T side, right? Like even if it did go flawlessly in favor of FaZe from here on out, it's not something you're going to be kicking yourselves over if you are Mouse. You've still got that CT side to come, and you know, I think you're already very happy with this. So pressure's on for FaZe. They are starting to move in the right direction, though. Once again, you got something fast out through main. Frozen trying to get deep down. Olaf move in while Carrigan is dueling at the back of the trains. They lose Acor. They lose Carrigan as well. Now, Frozen, where's he come from? He's in with a double. Out from main, make it 3, and Frozen just absolutely lighting up the scoreboard, looking for number 4, and he's knocking on the door of him, man. He's right there, and Frozen feels aware of it. Oh, here it is. Poor Olaf didn't even know what hit him. Frozen's on for the ace, and they might go let him hunt it down. Cole's rotated out through connector and is inside of the bomb site, so he could look to still put a stop to this round. It's just the wrap from Frozen. Cole's having to take into account so many timings, and there it is, the ace. mousesports on to 9, and it's all on the back of just one man.
Man, coldzera has been the last man standing in so many rounds. Very tough position for him, but Frozen made it tough with all these entries on this A bomb site, just responding to every assailant from the CT side. Olaf Meister executed from the back, very awkward position once again. And they just allowed Frozen to lurk. Play with the time they had, going wide through Old Bomb to find coldzera, making his way through connector onto the bomb site. And mousesports make it to 9. Brokey will fall back base on that molly, not fancying it. Down goes Carrigan by the Olaf position. Man who made it famous on the server. 5v4 for FaZe Clan, looking for 6 from their first half, which would be impressive considering the way they started.
Emas, does he want to go ahead of the smoke? The flash is good, cleared out by Kierby with the shaky spray. He's found his second. And FaZe looking for 5 right now. Only 3 players stand in their way. It's a strong start from Kierby. mousesports peel back from B, looking to put all their eggs in the same basket on this outer site. Bomb coming back towards main as well with Frozen and Acor combined. With things going quiet, FaZe do pre-rotate Brokey inner. Pretty standard. They have enough players to watch every spot in the yard. And actually, it is going to be a B play after all. So mousesports taking their sweet time to group up in these B halls. We've got a player up close. It's cold with Brokey supporting. So this is going to be very difficult for around for mousesports to actually convert, even if they can trade their way onto the bomb site.
Yeah, utility here to try and get Rops down through this ramp. It's going to start to rain over. There's the smokes. Here comes the flash. And Rops is out cold. Trying to stay hidden from the flashes. Trying to turn away. Gets blindsided. Rops, double entry. And once again, it's just one player for mousesports spearheading this push in. Frozen fighting alongside him as well, and it's a terrifying duo to run into. Now, Rain is flanking down the ramp, but Acor turns on a dime. Oh, another double. And suddenly Olaf, he's all alone. Where's the rest of his team gone? With the AWP, he's trying to make something happen. There's the swing, and oh yeah, the USP switch couldn't have been timed worse if you tried. mousesports onto 10. And that is like, I don't even know how they get back into that, right? It's a 3-on-5 when they move in towards the B-bomb site. And Rops, you know, this kill here, kind of forgivable. Cold's dodging the flashbang. He just keeps applying that pressure. Frozen's with him. They're playing that trade game together. I love the idea of, you know, like, you take the B site, you push up, and you know that if you take CT and connect it away and you're contesting that, the rotations just feel so uncomfortable for FaZe.
Yeah, and while that flank could have been really good for Rain, mousesports actually, with the pace that they got those 2 kills, they know they have a window with those deep smokes to plant open, and so they plant on the left side of default, and so Rain's flank isn't really that important because mousesports aren't playing for the halls. They don't have anyone there. They're not getting backstabbed. They're already deep CT. They're already con side, and so Rain just kind of gets avoided until he gets cleared. So mousesports 10-4, a man up, broken by for FaZe, looking for another dominant first half, and there's not much in their way. Carragher just running out T-Con and dealing them death. 2 more kills, the AWP fires up, and Olaf Meister is all that stands between mousesports and 11 rounds at the half. Frankly, it looks like a done deal. It might even be a 2-0. Only time will tell as mousesports clean up the half with a flawless round. We've got what could be the culmination of this series or the start of a comeback for FaZe coming up after the break. So, CT side of train for mousesports is just round in a moment.
They are out there, waiting to be discovered. Some of them are big, and some of them are small. But that's the thing with ideas. They don't just come to you. To find them, you have to move. Kia, movement that inspires.
Puke green manhole cover, someone said.
Oh, hi, we're back. It's the Puke Green Manhole Cover Hour here at FaZe Clan, taking on mousesports. And right now, deep within the manhole are FaZe Clan. They are, there's no getting out of it with where they are right about now. This is going to have to be an incredible T-side. So right now, if you're a mousesports fan, you're celebrating early. Let's see if that celebration is well-founded, because early on, this pistol already off to a good start for Mouse. Frozen's opened it. They do lose a core, so, well, Frozen's still fighting, still going. Any more? No. All right. Well, I was almost excited for him there.
Oh, Robs. Oh, he has a chance. He's on a big flank. No one's even looking. The bomb. Oh, back of the head hitboxes. They are a mess. And so he'll take the body shots instead. No killing blow. Brokey. Oh, not dead. Another shot. He's one bullet off. Karrigan finishes the kill onto Olaf, but Brokey is still sat on the train with the bomb. Can he get a plant down? Robs has crept out of the pop dog, and there's the bomb down. It's only one man stuck in the open. Kierby. Oh, great tap with a P250. Will he go for the plant or just look for the fight? B is his escape, and so he runs right into it. Karrigan has the kit double flash, but he's also pretty low. Only a 1 or 2 well-placed shots from Kierby could seal his fate.
Oh, just again, giving him a haircut. Can't dome Karrigan, who survives. Brokey was in the worst kind of sandwich there on the bomb train. Nowhere really for him to go but down. And the worst has happened for FaZe Clan. Mouse, well, almost the worst. They did plant the bomb at the very least, but mousesports have won the pistol round. FaZe Clan lose both on this map and will have to do it the very, very hard way indeed. And this is why you use a P250. It actually has longer headshot range in a pistol round, longer than the USP, but almost about twice as long as the Glock as well. So really makes a difference if you've got the aim.
Yeah, chunks armored players as well, right? Huge armor pen on that pistol, so that's always nice. FaZe, 4 rounds, probably green with envy. Or maybe it's just the sewage.
Maybe it's just the NIP rebrand. Who knows? They're green with something. Oh. Now they've lost rain as well. It's all coming up mousesports, and that's good. You know, if you're a mousesports fan, if you're a FaZe fan, this maybe isn't the series for you just yet. It's a bit of a shame because we haven't really seen much now on either map, right? Like we were kind of hoping that here on Train they could do something, and it looked like they maybe could have grinded their way back into the half. That never materialized. They never moved past this 4-round point. And so this little anti-eco's laid to rest nice and cleanly as well. For FaZe, time's running out. You really have like 1 or 2 buys left in the tank, and if you're not winning them, then that's it. It's all said and done. So
yeah, I mean, Harry, I got to ask you, if FaZe managed to pull this back and win this map and or series, what's going to be louder, your apology or your disrespect?
That's a good point, right? If they won the series, it would have to be my apologies. Yeah. But, you know, I ain't looking to disrespect anyone, Hugo. You know, that's a meme from... that's an old... Not old meme, it's like a few months old.
Yeah, old So 2020, man.
Yeah. It was like a whole year ago, man. Come on, bro. So, look, we got the rifles out for FaZe, and they are up against the bonus round here for Maus in a sense, right? You still got a lot of Famuses out. You got the Scout on A-Core. I say bonus. I'm using that wrong. This isn't really a bonus. But they get in through Ivy. They trade 1 for 1. And now it kind of grinds to an awkward halt because of Frozen getting aggressive in main. And a lot of this round now could hinge on Frozen specifically. Because if he falls, then suddenly this player in Sandwich is in like a world of hurt, having to watch 2 opposing angles. So Frozen needs to stay alive. And winning fights is a bonus on top of that. Rain's cancelled out. And Frozen repositions. What
timing with that smoke grenade. Oh, again. Oh, he should have got 2 there. A bit sloppy on the first one. Olaf Meister and Cold remain. Now, will Cold get baited by this scope he's hearing later? Later? Well, it has to be later for him because he's dead. Olaf Meister will get finished off by Rops. He'll clean up what Karrigan should have done earlier. And it's 14 for mousesports. 2 rounds away from a very swift 2-0 of FaZe Clan, who barely turned up today so far, it must be said.
Yeah, a little worrying for FaZe, right? Moving forward in this tournament. There's not a lot of room for error. Obviously, still in the group is Heroic and MIBR, and we are yet to really see MIBR's new roster here in Europe. They are currently a map down versus Heroic. So over on the B stream, if you do want to check it out, putting up at least 14 rounds on their first map. But right now, this could be done sooner than we maybe would have liked, as mousesports are 4 kills away from match point, and it's only pistols for FaZe.
Man like Rops. Biggest consumer of Rop stickers.
What, you or Rops?
Rops. It's got them on every gun. Covered.
Big fan.
I used to have one on my one of my AKs. Top geezer.
What AK skin?
Flying the Estonian flag. The icon of Estonia. What were we gonna say?
What AK skin?
I had his sticker on the Fire Serpents.
Oh,
But,
so you ain't messing around. I was expecting like, yeah, red line or something like that, but
No, I got rid of it.
just
I had too many gangster AKs, so I just got rid of all but one. Anyway, this is match point now for mousesports, and Olofmeister trying to do what he can to keep FaZe Clan in this game. Only 4 rounds so far, and now he's gone. 4 on 4 as Carrigan's got some smokes to work with and work over on this A bomb site, and FaZe Clan start to stream in with more players. Seems this round may end here, but maybe the match will as well.
yeah, that's the scary part of your FaZe. You haven't brought much to the table yet, well now you need to, and there's Rain taking heads off, so that's at least something. But he's cancelled out immediately. Acor's like, nah mate, I've had enough. BMAS as well is in with another. And in time might be up for FaZe. It's a long angle, but it's BMAS to steal the kills away. And there it is, mousesports. They lock in the victory. It's 2-0. And for Carrigan and crew, it's looking a little too easy. They walk that one over the finish line. For FaZe, bit of a slow start here at this event, but an exciting beginning for mousesports, who, you know, like we've seen games that they should be winning slip away from them before. That was not the case here, and now they were dominant through and through. Everyone was stepping up, and Acor looks like he's slotting in nicely, right? Like, wasn't a liability, wasn't something that was able to get exploited ever by FaZe. I'm